Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 4 of Aim to be a Pokemon Master titled Beartic Sigh just dropped. This episode continues Ash's journey to figure out what being a Pokemon Master is all about. How will it go? Let's find out. This episode is similar to episode 1 of this series, where we're more focusing on the adventures of Ash and Pikachu. There isn't any crazy plot, but what happens here makes the idea of what a Pokemon Master is supposed to be work. Our heroes arrive at a waterfall to see Magikarp climb up, but when they get there, the waterfall is fully frozen. Why? Turns out there's a Beartic nearby and it can't control its power, and it's causing almost everything around it to completely freeze. They come across the Beartic when Ash's OSHAWOTT accidentally loses his Scalchop. However, this Beartic, which is nearby, grabs it and returns it. When Ash arrives to thank it, it accidentally begins freezing everything, and Ash sees that it's sad, so he goes after it. While chasing after it, we get the return of some of Ash's older Pokemon, and in this episode, that includes Snorlax, Incineroar, and Talonflame. Incineroar and Talonflame in this episode are there to make sure that the Beartic's power doesn't go out of hand. Anytime anyone freezes, they're there to thaw them out. Once he catches up, Ash decides to help this Beartic control his power, and like we've seen him so many times in the past, he trains alongside this Pokemon to help him. In this case, him and Pikachu try to help this Beartic bring out his power in a controlled manner, but it fails. And every time it fails, it causes a massive explosion of ice power, causing everything around it to freeze. Instead of just trying to control its power with no aim, however, Ash's OSHAWOTT comes up with an idea. It should use its power to try and mold a Scalchop. Beartic attempts to do that, but again, it can't control it, and it causes everything nearby to freeze. And even though it keeps failing, Ash keeps encouraging it to try again. However, when it tries a second time to make a Scalchop, it creates such an explosion of ice power that it freezes even the two Fire-type Pokemon out in the field. Frustrated, it goes out into the frozen lake and spits out its power in the air full power. Ash tries to calm down the Beartic, but what happens instead is that the frozen lake they're standing on fully breaks apart and causes everyone to tumble down. Pikachu and OSHAWOTT get out of the frozen ice, and Beartic saved Ash. However, because he fell, Ash twisted his ankle. And originally, he wants Beartic to take Pikachu and OSHAWOTT up to Brock and Misty to let them know that he can't really move with his ankle being hurt, but Beartic wants Ash to come with him. Beartic tries to climb up the ice wall but loses grip. However, Beartic is able to use its power to create a massive block of ice into the walls that it can land on. And with that, Ash says that it's now figured out how to control its power in Crisis, and it should be able to do the same thing to create a stairway for them to get out of there. With that, the Beartic uses ice ability to create giant blocks in the ice, almost like stairs on the sides of the wall, where it can jump on, and eventually, everyone's able to get out of the giant chasm. While Ash is being looked at by Brock, Pikachu tries to tell all the forest Pokemon that Beartic is now able to control its power, but they're still skeptical. Beartic's then able to make OSHAWOTT Scalchop with ice, and it doesn't explode like before, and most of the Pokemon are still skeptical. However, there is a Bellsprout that's impressed and also wants a Scalchop of its own. So once again, Beartic makes one for it, and all the Pokemon afterward finally come out, no longer scared of Beartic's power. All of this, as always, is being watched by Latias, and the episode ends with our heroes being able to see what they came here to see, which was to see the Magikarps going up the waterfall. This was a easygoing episode focused on Ash's characteristic of helping out Pokemon when he can. What does it mean to be a Pokemon Master? That's the question that's being asked in this series, and while there isn't a definitive answer, this episode is one that shows that Ash is pretty close to, if not already there, to that answer. The ability for Ash to just help out a Pokemon when he clearly doesn't need to is something that makes him a Pokemon Master. It's also a nice moral message to kids watching that if you're struggling with something like this Beartic did, no matter how frustrating it is, if you keep trying, eventually you'll figure it out. It's not an episode that does anything mind-blowing, but it's an episode that sticks with the themes and ideas of the series and goes back to the old school route of just being focused on a Pokemon of the day. And in this case, it's not just the Beartic, but also Ash's OSHAWOTT who steals the show with his screen time. Some people were upset that Incineroar and Snorlax didn't do more, but in this episode, they really weren't the focus, so I don't really mind it. But I do know other people will. Either way, this was a nice, wholesome episode that if you want, go ahead and check it out. The next episode is the return of Ash's Kanto Trio starters. The episode seemingly focused on Squirtle and the Squirtle Squad along with Team Rocket. I can't wait. But anyways, that is it for my review of episode 4 of Aim to be a Pokemon Master. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. In the comments, let me know your thoughts on this episode. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that is it. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.